My name's Alexa Rastigue. I am from Michigan, and I go to school at Bellarmine University, where I'm on the field hockey team.
They probably should have just put me on an antibiotic right away. Yeah, I'd already been starting on an infection.
For Alexa Rastigue, the first weekend of April 2022 had been almost perfect. The kind of idyllic college weekend she had always dreamed about. Alexa was at Bellarmine University, majoring in education and behavior disorders, and a key member of the Knights field hockey team.
Well, Bellarmine's definitely a big community, and the way I felt a part of that from the get-go was being on the team.
That Friday, Alexa received a surprise from her #1 fan, her mom, Letty Rastigue. Letty texted Alexa that she, Alexa's brother Anthony, and his girlfriend Cassidy had just made the 6-hour drive to Louisville from their hometown of Highland, Michigan, and were there to cheer on Alexa for a series of spring games that weekend.
My mom is one to do anything possible to make it so that she watches me play.
The four of them would enjoy a wonderful weekend of laughs, food, catching up, and of course field hockey.
And that's really special when they get to come because we're very, very close. And just having that support is a little different because it's like a little taste of home. And they always bring me food from home when they come into town.
Finally on Sunday, Letty, Anthony, and Cassidy said their goodbyes to Alexa and started the long drive back home to Michigan. A few hours passed. Alexa became worried she had not yet received a text from her mom telling her that she, Anthony, and Cassidy had returned home safely. It was something Letty had always done on her trips to Louisville.
My mom always would text me like, oh, we made it home, or oh, like we pulled in the neighborhood, pulled into the driveway. Like she would always text me. And so I was a little unsettled when I looked at the time and saw that how late it was and hadn't gotten a text from my mom.
Usually it's the mother who worries about a child getting home safely. But this time it was Alexa who had a sinking feeling that something was wrong. Call it a daughter's intuition. Then she got the call no one wants to receive. The call you can never be prepared for. It was from a hospital in Toledo, Ohio, some 90 miles south of the Rastigues' hometown in Michigan. The news she received wasn't just bad. It was devastating, life-changing. Letty, Anthony, and Cassidy had been involved in a horrific 5-car wreck on Interstate 75 caused by a drunk driver.
My mom was driving, and Cassidy was directly behind my mom in the back seat on the driver's side, and then Anthony was in the passenger side back seat. We were told that a drunk driver, he hit a pickup truck, and the pickup truck flew over the median, and then my mom hit the pickup truck head-on. And the pickup truck broke in two and flew across. And then other cars were hit. My mom was like rear-ended and her car was up in flames and the truck was in flames.
Letty and Anthony were airlifted from the scene after sustaining life-threatening injuries. Cassidy, just 23 years old, and the 19-year-old driver of another car in the wreck, both died at the scene.
I just prayed to God to let me go and let her come back. That's just not how life works.
The drunk driver, a military veteran, had a blood alcohol level nearly double the legal limit. Yet he chose to drive that night rather than find a ride home.
Nicholas Luderman was driving under the influence, going 127 miles per hour. And after hitting the car, or the truck, he just pushed his airbags in as if he didn't do anything wrong and kept driving. And it wasn't until he hit a parked vehicle on the side of the road that he stopped because his car wouldn't go anymore. He was caught for his 3rd DUI that night. How he had a license, how he had a car, doesn't make sense to me. How he was able to push his airbags in, knowing that he hit someone. How he got in the car after doing everything he did. Never be forgiven.
He fled the scene after the crash and was apprehended later that night. Currently, he is serving a 25-year prison sentence for aggravated vehicle homicide and aggravated vehicle assault.
How he was able to not even look at my family when we were telling him what we went through, and he just kept his head down in the courthouse. Never be forgiven. It's the stupidest thing you can ever do. And there's so many easy ways around it. There's so many opportunities for you to get home safely. But he left that scene without a scratch, without anything, while my family suffered.
While Letty and Anthony ultimately survived the crash, each has undergone multiple surgeries and has struggled to get back to some semblance of a normal life. Letty's injuries included a mangled shoulder, a crushed ankle, and broken ribs and vertebrae. She and Anthony will never truly recover, physically or emotionally, and have visible scars that serve as a constant reminder of that disastrous April night. To Letty, but a careless and selfish choice. And the two deaths were tragic, senseless, and all too avoidable.
When the judge said that the maximum he could get for Cassidy's life was 8 years, she was worth more than that. And I just kept thinking that 8 years does nothing. 8 years doesn't bring her back. She was more than 8 years. She was more than that sentence. Before it happened to me, I didn't think it could happen to me. You know, you always hear all these stories about wrecks and drunk drivers, but you never think it could happen to you until it does.
A young man lost a girlfriend. Parents lost children. Children lost siblings, and on down the line. It's a story that's told too many times in the Commonwealth. More than 100 lives lost to drunk drivers each year in Kentucky alone. For the Rastigues, the best way to honor the memory of Cassidy is to tell their story and help educate their fellow Kentuckians on the deadly dangers of driving under the influence.
Why even put yourself in that position? Why not just call someone, get an Uber, not go, stay where you are? Is the half a mile worth of life?